Show me something. Hello and welcome back to the Show Me Something podcast.
I'm Jacob.
I'm William.
And I'm Trevor. This is episode 2, and today I showed the boys Dave. Not the new show on FX, the classic movie Dave.
From
with Kevin Kline.
1993.
1993, Kevin Kline.
Ivan Reitman directing.
Yep. Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley, Ving Rhames.
It's great.
Frank Langella.
Is that the Mike Pence guy?
Doesn't look like Mike.
He looks like Mike Pence. He looks a lot like Mike Pence for the audience out there.
No.
At least in the movie. I looked him up currently. He doesn't anymore.
So, quick synopsis.
Yep.
We open up with the president. He's just like this dude or whatever. And then we also...
President's name is Bill Mitchell.
Doing his thing.
Oh, no. I'll talk about it later. Never mind.
And then he's like, hey, I need a body double for this thing. So then we cut to Dave, who is also played by Kevin Kline. And he's like, he impersonates the president as part of his job, like a side gig. And then he goes and he fills in for the president while he's doing something. And then that becomes a more permanent position due to circumstances, and things ensue.
Yeah, and that's the no spoilerino synopsis.
So yeah, what are you guys' no spoilers, just upfront opinions on your watch?
Okay, so I didn't know anything about the movie. I had never even heard of it when I watched it. I thought it was all right. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. I would say that if you really like early 90s comedies, you'd probably like it a lot, like early 90s family comedies. Also, if you're like a Ben Kingsley or Ving Rhames or Sigourney Weaver completionist and you need to watch their whole filmography, go for it. Other than that, it's not like, I wouldn't say it's like a huge hitter. It's extremely random, but it was all right.
That's fair. All right, well.
Yeah, similarly, knew nothing about the film going in. It's a decent cast.
Solid cast.
Everyone in there is great. Great. Yeah, I think I would probably err on like a 6 out of 10. I would recommend it if like it's on TV and you're very bored.
Definitely a TV movie.
You know, like I wouldn't...
It won't cut anything.
Yeah. I wouldn't seek it out necessarily. But it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Also, Frank Langella was great.
He was definitely hateable.
Yeah. I think he was the best part of the entire movie.
Big hateable.
So I'll leave it at that.
No. All right, cool.
Yeah, so, soft recommend, I guess.
I'm totally chill with that. I was not expecting this to be Parasite or anything. Like, I feel like a lot of my stuff is actually going to be...
That's great, though.
It was good.
Yeah.
And Dave it's good. It's not my favorite movie of all time. It's not even in my top 20. But it's something that I like a lot, though. Yeah. I don't know. It's just a fun watch.
Yeah.
It was a fun watch, for sure.
Yeah.
It was nice to see. I mean, it's rare. This is going to sound snobby as fuck now that I think about it, but it's rare to like see a movie that I've never even heard of. Yeah. You know, like I've been watching movies.
Especially with a cast like this.
Right. Since I was in middle school, I've been watching film. You know.
Yeah,
movies.
exactly.
So, for one to sneak by me, especially as I'm older than the two of you, like early 90s stuff I've seen a lot of, but yeah, no.
That's kind of why I picked it, because you guys, whenever I was going through my list of stuff, you both were like,
never heard of
this movie.
Especially since it's like the same director as like Ghostbusters and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Ivan Reitman's like a legend. So
yeah, it
was weird for this one to just sneak under the radar. And Sigourney Weaver was great. I just watched Aliens for the first time, so it was cool to see her in a completely different
Still haven't seen Aliens. I've seen the first one. I've seen Alien.
You know what? Me either, actually.
Aliens is good, but not as good as the first one.
No?
Yeah, I hear a lot of people say it's better than the first one.
I hear, yeah, it depends on, I think, what kind of movie you like. Because Aliens is an action movie, and Alien is like a suspense thriller.
Right, I like action movies more, but I liked Alien more than Aliens.
You like the tone?
Of the first one.
Yeah.
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 Anyways. So I guess that's the end of our non-spoiler version of the podcast. So if you want to go watch it, and you're serious about spoilers for Dave.
For a 27-year-old film you've probably never heard of.
Yeah, you can go watch it on Amazon Prime Video. You can rent it. It's not on there. You have to rent it for $4.
Yeah, you can't. I tried to torrent it. Didn't exist on my torrent site where I've never been able to not find anything before, so... That's the kind of movie.
It's rare.
Yeah, it's rare.
It's a rare gem.
It's a shiny Pokemon card.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, holographic Korean.
But it's like a shiny Wooloo though, like something nobody
shiny
or a shiny
Wooloo,
Bidoof.
Classic.
Like nobody really cared.
Fucking Bidoof.
Yeah, it was solid. All right, so
My first note is
Spoilers
Ving
now.
Rhames
Spoilers now.
question mark exclamation point. 'Cause
Yeah.
when I first saw him, I was like, wait, hold up, and I had to pull up IMDb and be like, yup, he's in it.
that is Ving Rhames.
I was pretty excited to see him in it. Actually, I love Ving Rhames.
Me too. Great hair. Have I ever seen him with hair before?
I haven't. He's always bald.
He's always bald.
Yeah.
Great.
Was it a was it a wig? You think?
No, I don't think so. I just think it was a nice high top fade from
Right
the
on.
90s, It was great.
It was good.
He's a really good character in
He's
the
got
whole
a
thing, though.
great presence.
He has a bit of an arc too himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, he
Yeah.
does.
Even though he's like kind of a minor character.
Yeah. My first note.
I don't know. I wouldn't call him a minor character.
I would for sure call him a minor character.
Yeah, he's a B character.
Okay, B character, yes. I don't know. When I hear minor character, I think like a C or a D.
Like an extra?
Like Murray, his friend Murray.
Yeah, his friend
That
Murray.
guy's classic.
He's great.
He was so nervous.
He's so nervous.
Great nervous
He's
energy.
just like, oh, fuck, man, you gotta get out of this.
Super relatable.
And the other, Dave just didn't give a fuck.
My third note, obviously we're skipping ahead, but third note in total, first note about Ving Rhames was, is Ving Rhames going to kill someone? Very menacing early on in the film.
Super menacing.
I mean, as he's supposed to.
I mean, he's menacing throughout most of the film
Yeah.
up until like,
the very end.
Yeah.
And the sweater talk.
the sweater talk was the best.
Adorable.
I
I
will
can't wait
also
to get to
say
that.
because I kind of this is kind of jumping me into like the plot itself, but a lot of this movie is extremely ridiculous.
Oh,
Yes.
extremely.
Like it makes almost no sense.
No, it was awesome.
Like everything happens so rapidly too. Like the way they find Dave, the way he immediately is just like I'm on. Let's do it. They don't even show him agreeing. They just cut from the house to him rolling up to this gig like ready to go. It's fucking bizarre.
Oh, right. Like whenever they first show up and are like, "Hey, you want
At the car dealer, yeah.
You
and
want-
then they break into his house.
Yeah, which is also insane that they just
They're just there.
break in it. Like, yeah, they just enter his home
He's
without.
just cranking the Oklahoma.
Yeah, he has
soundtrack.
such like happy guy energy to him.
great.
Like happy go lucky.
He's
He's like singing on the bike and like whistling.
Yeah.
He's playing with kids as he
Playing
rolls
catch.
by.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He's just
It
a
shows
great.
it sets you up for Dave versus Bill Mitchell,
Yeah.
who's like an absolute son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Right.
he gets off the helicopter, gets handed his dogs, does the walk in. Immediately, as soon as he's out of sight, throws the leashes away.
Him and his wife
Him and his wife
ways.
split, and
Yeah.
he's immediately doing stuff,
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
president, like asshole president things.
Also, that like when he gets off the helicopter, like the wave / thumbs up deal.
yeah,
Very odd.
that's his thing.
Seems
That's his
very
little.
Nixon.
Super weird.
That's his little like his little twitch, I guess.
Felt
for,
so crusty.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
yeah,
just
he is.
said immediate bad vibes about this guy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he makes like I feel like even his speech they have bad vibes. Like when he's doing
Yeah.
his speeches and stuff, like
Yeah.
it seems so like fake and just like basically just like saying stuff for one side of a political spectrum just to say like keywords.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he's like we are shown him just straight up reading off that teleprompter,
That
even for this.
sweet teleprompter that's like high tech as fuck.
It's a pretty nice teleprompter. I mean, it's just like the
love
reflection
those.
teleprompter
It's
thing,
dope.
right?
I don't know.
love those. They still use those, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, because it's just like a projector on the ground that goes up and then reflects off of that glass.
Oh,
for
is
the
that
reader
how it
to-
works?
Yeah,
That's dope.
Hey, they're sweet. I fuck with those.
I thought
very
it was
cool.
space technology.
No, it is not space technology. A
Sigourney even
hologram.
brought it in from aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like just the immediate. Also, props to Kevin Kline for not only playing two different characters, which to be fair, he only plays the one character for like a second.
Yeah.
But for playing two and then playing the combination of the two, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Like playing a character who's impersonating another person.
Right, because he has to play
That is tough.
Bill and Dave, and then Dave being Bill.
Yes.
Which, yeah, he was great at.
Which,
Yeah.
to be fair, he plays a much nicer version of Bill.
Right.
But he still has to
Still.
overall be Bill.
Yeah. They show him like learning the hand gestures and stuff like that, and like picking up on stuff. That
Well, a lot of the stuff
other
he already
guys
knew
didn't.
because he
Is already impersonating
already
him.
impersonates him for like car
For
dealerships,
yucks.
as we show. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
bar
but his
mitzvahs.
actual job is he owns a temp agency.
Yes, and he is very serious about his temp agency.
Yeah, I love that opening scene.
It's so good. Everyone works on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was good. Yeah,
cute little
it's
scene.
set up the character really well.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. And
Yeah, they do a really good job of juxtaposing the two in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Like, President Mitchell's aura, his vibes are just like instantly negative, and like Dave just radiates positivity
for sure.
So like not necessarily a hard thing to do, but they do it really well.
They do it very well, and also like we go from Dave helping like these people try and find jobs to I don't remember if it's around that time or a little bit after, but Bill Mitchell with I guess his cabinet or some representatives or whatever talking about trying to kill this bill that's going to help homeless people, homeless kids nonetheless.
And he's like, he mentions like, I don't want them to know that I killed it. I want them to
I
think
can't
that you
veto
killed
it. That looks bad. You guys got to do it because nobody cares.
Yeah, he's a bastard.
He's an absolute dick, which is great.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Them Bill. The Secret Service go get Bill because President Mitchell needs somebody to stand in while he's off.
Dave.
They get they get Dave. Thank you. Oh my god. While he's off fucking his secretary. Yeah, which is just another asshole.
Yeah. Also, this This is what I wanted to say earlier is that they predict the Monica Lewinsky scandal.
Exactly.
This takes place 2 years before that broke. The president's name is Bill Mitchell. Bill Clinton had an affair with Monica Lewinsky. Almost the exact same thing happened, except Bill Clinton didn't have a stroke while he was coming. Like in this movie.
Which, oh my god.
That happens in
this
movie.
It does happen.
Maybe Bill Clinton saw this movie and was like, shit, that seems like a good
That's
idea.
what it seems like. Because, like, what the fuck is like 2 years in advance?
Bill Clinton's like, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Good.
there he is.
Bill
He's in the
Clinton
studio with us.
What's up, Bill?
Hello. I can't keep it going.
It was great. Briefly back to...
Oh, also, real quick, though, I was looking at my notes. When Dave is impersonating the president the first time, they're like, don't speak. Don't do anything. Yeah. And then as he's walking out, he's just getting hype. All these people love him. And he just turns around and goes, God bless America.
Yeah.
And they yank his ass.
Hard.
I really wanted him to just sing Oklahoma right there. Like that was the vibe that I got. He was going to belt out that song.
He loved the attention. He loved the people.
I mean, it's
and
a
that's
lot.
also a good setup for as to why he just straight up agrees more or less.
Right.
To continue doing it.
Yeah. Also, right before that, when he's like warming up to go walk down that hallway, he's like doing this weird like wiggle thing.
He's trying to
in the hallway with Ving Rhames, and that was like great.
Also, when he stops,
comedy.
He stops just to see if all the Secret Service guys stop with him, and he's like, huh, and looks back at him, and it was great. I love it. He's just like playing with it. He's having fun with the moment.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I'm sorry. I do. Like,
what do you rate the movie? I want to know.
What do I rate the movie? I mean, I have nostalgia going on with this movie, of course, because
that counts.
Yeah. So I give it a solid like 8.5.
Damn.
I really like. I appreciate that it's not a masterpiece by any sorts. It's not nothing
nowhere near.
Yeah, nothing groundbreaking. It's more relevant again. I feel like nowadays with some of the stuff that's going on. The whole First Liberty scandal and all that stuff with like we're just gonna make it up and like. I don't know, all that. I felt like it was actually somewhat relevant with the whole Trump scandals and stuff going on. But election tampering, all that fun shit. But anyways.
Right on. I see where you're coming from, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it's not anything amazing, but I just enjoy watching it. It makes me feel good when I watch this movie.
For sure.
So that's my rating, 8.5 out of 10.
That's a big rating.
Again, we're gonna be. I feel like hard pressed unless we know going in that it's a bad movie for the person who brings in the thing to rate low on their own thing. Unless we deliberately bring something like, oh no, this is garbage, but I wanted to show you the garbage. I have some
stuff on my list. Well, I have at least one thing on my list that
we've
been compiling that it's like a bizarre movie. But I don't know if we'll ever get to it.
No, we will now. You talked about it. We have to do it.
It's going to be hard to find. It's going to be really hard to find.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll go to some libraries.
Yeah, so my next note is that the two cabinet member dudes, the chief of staff, they hate the VP. This is once the coma's already in play.
Yeah, so...
and Dave's in office.
Yeah, the president has his massive stroke. They bring in Dave like almost immediately because he's still in one of the limos. They're like, all right, bring him in. Hey, Dave.
He's in it solo with Ving.
Yeah. And, like, Dave, we need you to play the president. The president is not doing good. But the world, whether our friends or enemies, need to know that Bill Mitchell can do his job. And he's like, okay, and, like, kind of just agrees to it.
They basically just want to solidify their own legacy.
Yes.
Which is their ultimate plan.
Their whole plan, is to have Bill Mitchell stay as president, and then get rid of the vice president, and then have him nominate the chief of staff. God, what is his name? Bob. Frank.
What is the other dude's position? Because I know chief of staff is the guy that looks like Mike Pence, but who's the other guy?
Well, he mentions he wrote one of his speeches.
So he might be
speechwriter, whatever the fuck that position is.
Press person.
Haven't watched Veep yet.
So it's like Rob Lowe on The West Wing.
Haven't seen West Wing.
Oof.
Yeah, big oof.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I wasn't really watching that kind of stuff back then.
Come on, bud.
Yeah, I actually don't know what his position is.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He's like just
some other like aide guy.
He's like the vice chief of staff, like
vice chief
of staff number 2.
I mean, he's been with,
Boogaloo.
but like we know he's been with the president through his entire campaign.
Right. He's been around,
and he's not a good person either, though.
Well, that's Bob.
Bob is the worst.
You think
no.
the other dude's not a good person?
No, the other guy's fine.
He's not the best.
What? He's fine. He ends up being Bud's.
He has
a good turn.
He has a great turn, but at the beginning he
was hesitant in the beginning.
But it was his idea to pin the First Liberty stuff on the VP.
I think he's just scared of Bob.
I think
he's absolutely scared of Bob, but he still isn't the best.
Bob talks about how he would kill a man.
Yeah, 100 men.
Bob is terrifying.
Bob is absolutely terrifying.
He has a presence. He's really big too. He's like taller than everybody.
Easily the best part of this movie for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
unquestionably the best.
He's a great bad guy.
So good.
So good.
So they start running through stuff with Dave, and eventually they bring in a doctor to check Dave out because they have this story that the coma wasn't that bad and that the president's doing great.
He'll be up and about soon.
My question is, how the fuck does the doctor not know it's not Bob Mitchell? Like, what?
Your cholesterol's better?
What test do they do? Do they not even check his blood? Do they have the same blood type?
I mean...
that would be a stroke of good luck.
Eye test.
At that point...
Anything.
He probably just did a straight-up physical examination.
You do blood tests in physicals.
Do you do a blood test for a stroke?
You would have to.
I don't know, man.
A blood test is for everything.
Also, they paid off the other doctors for sure. I'm sure they could go to the personal physician and just go.
It didn't seem like he was paid off. It seemed like he was checking him out because he was so curious as to like all the things that were so much better.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So I guess to get the cholesterol, he would have had to have done
That's a terrible doctor.
Bad doctor.
They must have had the same blood type. They're long lost twins.
Well, they didn't say anything. They didn't say anything about blood type.
But like you have to do a blood test for cholesterol, right?
Yes, actually that's true.
Yeah.
So. Unless they didn't look at what the blood type was and they just did a cholesterol test, which
like,
I don't know how
weird.
that works.
Your blood type completely changed overnight. That seems fine, though.
Whatever. We're not doctors. So
also, he's like doing better because he's like been exercising.
Yeah.
And then all the list of exercises that he's been doing. The bike riding's real.
Yeah.
But like the rest of it, climbing.
Embellishes. He likes to embellish.
He does. And they were like, keep it simple.
He never knows when to stop, basically.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's nervous. I don't blame him.
Until Bob looks at him real mean. And then he's like, well.
Yeah.
I get it now.
And then so they have this plan to send the VP to Africa on like a goodwill tour
while they try and dig up dirt on him.
Yeah, as they try to discover this. They dig back up the Liberty scandal. Basically,
well, I think at that point,
which had nothing to do with the VP.
At that point, they still didn't know what they were gonna do, so they were like, "Hey, we got to get rid of him. He's a Boy Scout." Which I love that they keep calling him a Boy Scout.
He's a good guy.
He is a great guy.
He comes in later in the movie and he's great.
Great cameo.
They
Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
For
and
sure.
they explained to Kevin Kline why they can't have the president, like the VP, become president because he's crazy.
Yeah, that's what they tell Dave.
Which I think lends really well to later on whenever he actually meets the VP. But
what do you mean? Like he sees that they were lying real bad?
No, because whenever he's not sure about that still. He doesn't know that they're lying, so whenever he meets the VP, he's there with the spear and the mask and the beads, and he's like, this guy's crazy.
You think so?
I think at first
I didn't pick up on that at all.
I think at first he thought that, and then as he's talking to him, he's like,
why would he think he was crazy? He just went to 12 African countries.
That's what they told him.
Yeah, I know, but like, why would he think that in his mind after he knows? Because this is like later in the movie, and once he knows that these guys are like sons of bitches.
Yeah, but still, I don't.
You think so?
Yeah. I do. I
disagree.
And that's fair.
I didn't pick up on that at all. I don't think that he seemed hesitant to Ben Kingsley at all.
I don't know, but I love they never give him an answer though. Whenever they're talking about him becoming president, with like, is this legal? And they never really give him a straight answer. They're just kind of like, like you would run a red light if your mom was sick, right? And he's like, I mean, yeah. And they're like, so yeah, like that. And it's like, you never really answered the question.
It's no. The answer is no.
The answer is no, of course. But they never explicitly say it, which is just, I don't know. I find that kind of fun.
I mean, I guess they can't admit illegality.
Yeah.
As Chief of Staff and Chief of Staff Junior.
For sure. Also, I love
Version 2.
when they bring him into the president's bedroom. And like, okay, this is where you're going to be staying.
Yeah.
And he picks up the phone.
Yes, Mr. President.
Yeah, and he's like, nothing, good night.
That part is very funny.
Oh, there's such good little laugh out loud moments in this film.
I don't know if I laughed out loud once.
I did. I laughed out loud, especially during that little bit.
I definitely had some chuckles and some like inside laughs, as you do.
I think I laughed out loud at the very end.
What part?
Can't remember.
Damn.
But it was there. Because I remember thinking, oh, that's the first time I've laughed out loud this whole time.
Oh, really? I laughed out loud at that and a few other times.
But chuckles are good. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be a laugh out loud for me to find it.
I feel
Yeah,
like that's rare for me. Like even in like my favorite comedies that I'm like bursting out laughing, unless they're like really my favorites, like
To be
Superbad
fair,
and shit.
My laugh out loud for that moment was, ha! And then that was it, I guess. But still, it was out loud.
Yeah.
It was like a verbal.
So not like a full blown, but definitely.
No, I didn't, like-
I mean, that's still a good laugh.
Not
Yeah.
a chortle.
It was enough because I hadn't seen this movie in a while.
Yeah.
So it was like really nice. It was like I'm remembering all these parts, but like that little bit, like I didn't remember that, and then that coming up, it's like that got me. That was great. I love
sure.
that. No way he slept that night, by the way, before the doctor came in. Like absolutely no way. He's in the president's bedroom.
You don't think so?
No way he slept. I would be so on edge the whole time. I'd be like, I can't believe I'm the president right now. Like this is crazy.
Yeah. And then after that is when he has his first interaction with the first lady. They do that thing where they go outside and wave to people.
Thank you for doing this, Ellen.
Yeah, that's all he's allowed to say. He says it twice.
Well, he has the whole thing first where he's going into the Oval Office first, and they're like telling him everyone's names, and he immediately gets it. He's like, hey, and then the secretary is like all up on him, and he has no idea why.
Right.
He's like, what's her deal?
That's the one that was...
That's the one who was having sex with.
They were boinking.
Yeah, his Monica.
Fair lady.
Stroke nut.
Monica Lewinsky.
Who like doesn't have a big part in this movie at all.
Also, it's Laura Linney, which is pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, I did recognize her. I recognized her
I did
face.
too, but I didn't know who she was until I saw the IMDb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought she was gonna play a bigger part in this with like revealing his true identity, but she
Yeah,
really doesn't. She's like very in passing after like her big moment, which is basically like them having an affair.
Which
like
I
after
guess-
that, she sees him for the first time when she tries to like kiss him or hug him or whatever, and then he passes by thinking she's bizarre, and then after that it's just like
Nothing.
she like hands them stuff or like you see her in passing.
And a couple of times she's like,
They really like forgot about that character.
she kind of seems like a little bit like, oh, that's.
Yeah, the one part towards the end, she does seem super fucking confused. Like, she's like, what is going on?
Is it when he brings Murray in?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
He's like, we need some sandwiches.
Well, that was a different person that he
that is
asked
a
all the
different
food
person,
for.
yeah.
Oh, right.
But it was a time around there where she was like, he was like acting a little bit like crazy. I guess he was like freaking out internally or something.
Right.
And then she just kind of turns and goes, oh, God, and then walks off. But that's it, really. She kind of becomes a nothing. She was an inciting character, I guess, and then that's it. She just kind of sticks around.
For sure.
And then he calls back to the temp agency to let him know why he'll be gone. With that whole story about him finding somebody.
Yeah,
and
again, where he embellishes the fuck out of it.
He's met a princess or something.
I think he just calls her a princess. Is she actually a princess?
I mean, at one point he's like, well, I mean, first of all, it's a made-up character.
True.
But second of all, like whenever they're talking, he's like, we don't like the whole royalty thing or whatever. And she doesn't like to talk about that. And then he's like, okay, now bye. And then hangs up real quick because that's when Bob's like, get off the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
a classic running gag.
Right.
And then
Like,
immediately
you keep talking too much, basically.
then immediately his secretary back at the temp agency, she's like, he's in love. Like, just buys it
Yeah.
with nothing.
They love him.
Which I guess they kind of set up her buying it, though, in that she just got engaged. So she's kind of in this whole romantic mindset,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of a nice touch, quite frankly.
They want him to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my next note is that people love Dave more than the actual president.
Oh, for sure.
He starts just being the friendliest bastard on earth and starts like trying to do all these cool, nice things and being like silly at like publicity events.
Yeah, after the meeting with the first lady, we get in that montage of
the montage of him, like you got the robot arms,
and he's like dancing and like,
and they keep cutting to like different news, like talk shows, and like to Jay Leno a couple times.
Jay Leno is in there a few
times.
And
they're like, man, this guy's freaking great. Since the coma, he's really turned a new leaf, and they're like giving him like ratings and shit like that.
And then the one lady, she's like, no, the zombie's gonna come back. I don't believe this bit at all. And a lot of people are like, he faced death in the eyes.
I do like the part where later on, where the guy comes on talking about a conspiracy theory. He's like, if you look at the photos before and after the stroke, you see differences.
That's fucking Oliver Stone.
Was it?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I did not recognize
Yeah, it's Oliver Stone, who's famous for presidential conspiracy theories. That was a great little touch.
That's great.
That's Ivan Reitman pulling strings. You know, like that's connections.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually.
On that note, I have one of my early notes was this dude better not become the actual president because he's nice and the real president is mean. Like it's just setting that up. You know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's so great. Like let's just keep him because he's nice.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought people were gonna find out and then just be okay with it.
Right. He's not a total dick.
I don't think that, like if it came out,
because especially after the budget part, the big budget scene in the meeting,
budget scene
when he
is
basically
great.
cuts the budget himself and like,
which I don't think that's how that works.
Well, I don't know.
I'm sure it's not.
You can't just write down numbers and say we're
just
all
do math on a piece of paper.
But yeah, he cuts the budget and is able to keep the shelters that were initially vetoed by Chief of Staff behind his back.
Yeah.
This is skipping ahead a little bit, obviously, but like. I thought after that part was when people were going to be like, oh, this guy's just great. Let's keep him in office. Like if they found out right then.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, that kind of skips over right before that. They were at the shelter and they had that scene where the first lady is like kind of watching him do like magic with a little kid.
That's way later.
I got it out of order then. I don't know. I'm ripping off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Right?
No, like
you know the movie order way better than me.
Yeah, we've skipped some stuff, but
that's a little bit later.
I'm skipping all around. I also got a note that Dave makes a badass sandwich.
Yeah, that sandwich looks
he does.
Delicious.
So that's one of his first like real
fire sandwich
moments with
Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames, yeah, where
he splits a sandy with him.
He splits a sandwich with them, and he's like, "Have you ever used your gun before?" And he says, "Not yet," which I thought was kind of a fun like.
Yeah, they come back to it.
Stop asking me questions or whatever, and then he's like, "So you would take a bullet for the president?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "So you take a bullet for me?" And he kind of has like this moment like,
they cut scenes.
Oh fuck, I might actually have to because despite the fact that he is a body double, and that's kind of the whole point of the body double is to not have to. Like, that way the Secret Service doesn't have to take the bullet.
Yeah.
Or might not need to or whatever. He, for all intents and purposes, is the president now.
Right.
So you might actually have to take a bullet for him. Because if he dies with the bullet, then this whole conspiracy shows up and is a thing. So that's kind of like, I think, a good moment, though, they have together. And then we go to the scene where Bob and... God, I'm really bad at names. Alan, thank you. Bob and Alan are doing the first... that's when they decide the First Liberty thing's going to go down.
Right.
They're like, hey, remember that First Liberty stuff we almost got in trouble for? We're just going to pin it on the VP. And Bob's like, that's a fucking great idea.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yep. Oh, yeah, and then we have the scene in the car on the way to the shelter where Sigourney Weaver finds out. Essentially, like, in her first suspicions when... Because... Kevin Kline, as Dave, the whole time has been, like, every time he sees the First Lady, he's like, damn, she is hot.
Yeah.
Which he's right. It's Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, of course she's hot. And then he looks at her leg, and she's like, interesting. And then we're at the shelter. So, Jacob.
Huh?
We're back. Now we're at the shelter.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much said everything I need to say about the shelter.
Yeah, it was a nice
He does
scene.
magic for a kid.
Yeah, he does magic for a kid.
Well, he also sends the cameras away.
Yeah, he has this nice tender moment with the kid, and then, of course, it's just framed by Sigourney Weaver watching him
be like an actual human.
Right.
And also, no way would Dave not know that there are kids in homeless shelters. Like when he walks in and it's like, he's like, he knows they're going to a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
And there's all these kids and he's like surprised by it.
I mean,
President Bill Mitchell, I don't think would know because he doesn't give a shit. Bill or Dave, I feel like would know. As just a human, like especially who works with people like at a temp agency, I feel like he definitely would know that kids are in a homeless shelter.
I mean, I get it though. I mean, more often than not, when I think of a homeless person, I think of an adult.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I feel like that's probably most people. You would think of an adult. I mean, but yeah, it's obviously possible that kids are also homeless.
A lot of kids are homeless.
There was a
apparently.
ton of them in that shelter. It was like all kids.
But also they're in D.C., which is a pretty populated area.
You'd think they'd be in like a foster house, though.
I mean, yeah. But also these might be like kids whose families are also homeless, but since the parents can't actually take care of them, they kind of just keep them like not separate, but like this is like, because the whole thing is this is like a daycare almost type situation. I feel like where they're like bringing up interaction for the kids, so that way they're like developing their social skills, and then that's when he goes over to the one kid by himself with the cameras and being a real human and all that
weird
stuff.
Kid. Fucking nerd kid. It's a fake kid. Come on. You can't call the fake kid a nerd.
No, I'm crying now.
Yeah, I mean, basically, my next note's that they break into the bunker.
Oh, no, but so we got the scene where she goes to the bathroom.
We already talked about all these. Oh, I didn't talk about the shower scene.
The shower scene where right after the shelter, Bob Mitchell has gone into the Oval Office and is signing all those like vetoes as the president.
Yeah.
And he vetoes the bill that would have helped those kids.
Yep.
Sigourney Weaver comes into the shower and is like
pissed.
Super pissed.
When he turns around, does he have an erection? Is that why she makes that face?
Probably.
That's hot.
So he's just cranking it, singing.
Well, he did have one arm up on the wall.
The chief.
I think
he
did that because he was scared. I'm sure he got the erection whenever he saw Sigourney Weaver, to be fair.
Just instant bone?
Do you do that?
No. Well, depends on the person.
I prefer the narrative that he was
cranking
it while singing "Hail to the Chief."
That's dope.
To himself. I mean, that shower.
That's presidential.
Might turn me on.
That's presidential.
That's pretty presidential. Like he's doing it in time with the tune.
Right.
Dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, after that they break into the bunker.
Oh my god! Why do you keep jumping to that?
That's my next note.
The bunker thing doesn't even happen until the table scene.
Hazmat safe room.
But like, how much more what are these scenes we're talking?
The whole budget cut thing has to happen.
We already talked about that. Did we not already talk about the budget cut scene? I mentioned
very
it
briefly.
All right. So let's hear the.
Why
grand
are you guys
wisdom.
trying to rush
grand
through
wisdom.
my movie?
I'm not even saying anything. This is all Jacob. I'm just.
Why are you trying to rush through my movie, Jacob?
I'm just beating off my next notes.
And my next note.
Let's hear what it is.
Fucking, we have the scene where he goes and confronts Bob and brings both of them in at like 10 o'clock at night. And they're like, it's 10. He just gives the look. And they're like, all right, yeah. Call him in. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, if you can find the money in the budget, you can keep the homeless shelters. And that's a challenge accepted right there.
Don't ever fucking call me again.
Such an asshole. I love it.
He's so good.
You're just looking off into the distance.
No, I'm listening. What?
Yeah, and then then he brings in his accountant friend. They find the money in the budget, and then we have the whole amazing scene where he's got the public, like the cameras are all in for this cabinet meeting, everything. And Bob keeps trying to interrupt him, and he's like, "Yes, Bob," and just stares him down, which I thought was great because that's just a very good moment for Dave where he's just like, I am the president now. I can do, like, you can't stop me anymore. You're not, like, you take me down, you're going down even harder.
Right, because in public, for all intents and purposes, he is Bill Mitchell.
The president, yeah.
No one knows anything besides
No
Bob
one knows
and
anything.
Yeah.
Great scene. And then Sigourney comes in, and she's like, wow, okay, that was amazing. This is totally a different person.
Right, you're not Bill Mitchell.
And then she has that little moment with him, like, you remember when you were in the... What was it? The House of Representatives, or
no? It was like a state House of Representatives, something like that.
State legislature, yeah. And he was like,
whatever. They break into the bunker.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking about here?
She wants to know where her husband is.
Where is he?
And then they break into the bunker. Fine, go, Jacob.
Yeah, she realizes that it's clearly not him, obviously. And then they break into the bunker. They have almost no security down there.
It's just the fucking
the receptionist and one
Ving
guy.
Rhames, yeah, and some old lady. You're not allowed here.
Ving Rhames should have like headshotted both of them though.
Hell yeah! I mean that would have been
gory
he's
as
gonna
fuck.
kill someone. Yeah.
Well, Ving Rhames is the one that took him down there. It was the other.
No, I'm saying the guy that was Ving Rhames' partner in the beginning of the film is the one who's stuck on fucking bunker duty.
He's trash.
What coin did he flip that he lost that battle? That's what I want to know.
BD.
He's one of the few that I guess actually knows what's going on. Maybe.
Yeah, true. So
you
he's
ever
gotta be
been
down
on
there.
BD, Trevor?
That's fair.
On what?
BD, bunker duty. All right, so the first lady's done. She's out of here.
She wants to leave, but she doesn't know how she's gonna do it.
Wait.
No, she does know. They escape in Dave's Cadillac.
He's got the presidential seal on his nightie.
He does.
That shit is tight.
That is kind of tight.
All right, so
my two notes.
So they go to the bunker.
Wait, my two notes were hazmat safe room. Band name called it. That's a good band name, hazmat safe room.
Yeah.
And then super sci-fi, super quick. That was a fucking scene out of a fucking alien movie.
A little bit.
That man down there in the fucking sci-fi bunker.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, I would not doubt for a half a second that something like that is underneath the White House, because they do have
emergency hospital.
They do have the bunker. Yeah, because the president's got to be down there. Of course, they're going to have fully equipped medical.
There's got to be way more leather.
Leather.
I agree. Leather and mahogany.
Yep.
What?
It's the White House.
Yeah, for like maybe the living quarters, but I don't think they need it for the medical, the private medical bunker,
because it needs to be luxurious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I don't know.
Dave's out too.
Dave and Sigourney are like, fine, we're gonna leave.
Hop in that fucking little white.
She's like, what's in that duffel bag? He's like,
souvenirs,
souvenirs, towels.
And I love he pulls the handkerchief out of there for her while she's crying too.
Yeah,
also,
cute.
at one point, he asks if he can take like a White House pen.
He's just like,
can I have this?
The aha moment back early in the movie when they're like, this is gonna work. Whenever they're like, he's like, oh yeah, I love that speech, and the guy's like, I wrote it. He's like, and he starts just rattling it off perfectly, and they're both like, yeah, this is gonna work. And then he just looks down and is like, kind of breaks the moment with the pen.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Frank Langella's eyes in that shot were also great when he's reciting that speech from memory.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm a huge Frank Langella fan. I'm about to be a Frank Langella completionist because he stole this whole fucking movie.
You're on your way.
I'm on my way.
With Dave.
Started at the bottom.
Hey now.
And then they use Lyndon B. Johnson's sex tunnel to escape.
To get to
is
the
that
car.
What that is?
I think that's where he used to show people his dick all the time.
They reference it in the movie even when they're watching.
Yeah, they reference LBJ. They're like, yeah, he used to use this tunnel all the time. And I know he's notorious for like flashing people.
Yeah,
when he was in presidency.
He is.
Yeah.
What?
One term, by the way. He only ran one term.
Wonder why.
Fine. Yeah.
He lost the. It was like a Walter Cronkite thing where he said he didn't believe in the president anymore, and then he felt like he lost the people? the people,
the popular vote.
Yeah. He passed the Civil Rights Act, though. That's a good thing.
He showed his dick to people in an underground tunnel?
Yeah, he used to have a nickname for it. It was like... He had
Flash or something?
It was some ridiculous nickname, but he was a dirtbag.
I have to know.
But yeah, so they get out...
they get in the car and they're driving along talking about...
They get a ticket. Or they get pulled
over. Yeah, they get pulled over and then the cops are like... They make them both get out of the car because they don't have the registration. And he's like, oh my God. And they're like, no, we're impersonators. And then we get the whole classic thing of...
He does a song.
They do the song and dance, but then the cop pulls Dave aside and is like, you're really good. She needs some work. The classic scene, which I thought they were going to do earlier when the president met Dave, where he was going to be like, this guy looks like nothing like me. I thought they were going to pull some shit like that then.
Yeah.
I was impressed that they didn't do that joke.
They get out of the ticket, though.
And then they did do the joke later on, though.
Yeah.
But they get out of the ticket because he's like, you guys are not going to make any money being impersonated.
Yeah, that would... I don't know. Like, he looks like the fucking president. And
he does.
The wife. Just let them go.
Yeah.
It went a different way, which is cool.
It was
I
fun.
expected it to go a different way.
It was really cool, though.
Quick tunnel, I was going to say tunnel back. quick run back. It was called the Tunnel of Love. Tunnel of Love. The tunnel was used by male White House aides to sneak their girlfriends and mistresses into the building to have sexual intercourse in the Lincoln bedroom during the presidencies of Lyndon Johnson and Jimmy Carter.
LBJ sex tunnel.
LBJ sex tunnel.
There you
go. Wikipedia article, White House to Treasury Building tunnel. Sorry.
Well, there you go.
No, thank you. I'm glad we were able to fact check it, honestly, because most of the things I know are like not accurate.
Citation needed.
Yeah, everything I say is citation needed. Also, they get some dank sannies afterwards.
Dude, I just want a fucking sandwich after watching this movie.
They had so many sandwiches in this movie.
Well, because he makes the sandwich in the White House kitchen. And it looks like he's like shaving carrots onto it.
He was shaving carrots onto it.
We need Babish to like examine.
That's what I was thinking when I saw him doing that. I was like, how is this movie not come up? Oh, right. No one knows this movie exists.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will come back into the zeitgeist, though.
And then we're relevant again.
We're relevant. Let me just let me ask a real deal question.
Yeah.
Did sandwiches peak in the 90s?
What do you mean?
Don't know. That's all I have.
Because I would argue no.
I'm gonna say no.
I want a fucking sandwich. I think it's
sandwiches are forever. Sandwiches. I just had a sandwich.
You son of a bitch.
What the fuck?
I had the spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah, true. Chicken Sandy.
You guys watched me eat.
I did more of a deli meat.
I want
sandwich.
deli meat.
Yeah, deli meat sandwich. I love a deli meat sandwich.
All right, let's get an Italian sub.
Yeah,
that's what we'll do for dinner.
Ward them through. All right, so Dave fires chief of staff cunt.
Fuck you.
That's my next note.
Fuck you, Bob.
Fuck you, Bob. And since Sigourney's now in on the whole thing, she comes in and like backs him up on the whole thing very subtly.
Yeah, kisses him on the cheek and like calls him her husband and shit. Like
yeah,
that.
and then like gives Bob a knowing look. Like,
wait,
yeah, like fuck you.
Did we skip the Bob fast walk through the White House?
Yes, we did. Did you notice who the tour guide was?
Bonnie Hunt.
Bonnie Hunt was the fucking tour guide.
Didn't know it was her until I saw her right there on IMDb.
Who? Really? Okay,
However,
no. I saw her and I was like, that's the mom from Cheaper by the Dozen.
Crazy. I did not recognize her.
Okay.
But that fucking fast walk.
It's been a minute since I saw that movie.
Yeah, same. Shout out to Steve Martin.
Fuck yeah.
That fast walk, maybe my favorite part of the entire movie.
Really good.
I mean, I'll say it again. Frank Langella.
Her part is really great. We're walking, and then she riddles
We're
off
stopping,
a fact.
we're stopping.
And then we're walking. Oh, he's walking.
How lucky we are. Chief of staff.
Chief of staff. Wow, everybody.
And we're walking. Yeah, that was good. All right, sorry. Continue.
No, it's a great walk. It shows he is fucking pissed.
He's pissed. That walk was crazy. Did they speed it up, you think?
No. Because we had
That's a fast walk.
We had all the other people in there.
That's a fast walk.
So
shout out to Frank Langella.
Yeah, so he gets fired.
Walker. Yeah, bye-bye.
Dave makes a speech about how he wants to give everyone a job. He wants to have a 0% unemployment rate.
Which I love that everyone's expecting him. Everyone's expecting him to talk about the VP scandal, which he doesn't even know about, which is crazy that nobody's told him. Like you would think even like
the one lady in the audience loves it.
Yeah, the old lady
where
with
she
the red
says
lipstick.
like, "Thank you, Mr. President."
Yeah,
I feel like that was really sarcastic, though.
Oh, you think so? No, she looked genuine.
Super
really?
sincere.
Okay, I thought it was sarcasm because they all, whenever he was like, "I want to give everyone a job," they all were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
like
she
here we go again.
She loved it.
Another president wanted to give everyone a job.
She was taken.
Okay,
She was taken.
it was
Not
a really,
Liam Neeson taken.
It was a really good speech after he said the job thing. He gave the amazing speech, so I think
Yeah.
maybe more people were on board after that. But again, like
I thought that was one of his weaker speeches.
it was, but it was still a good speech.
Yeah,
He's good at giving
He is
speeches.
good at giving speeches. My next note is Ben Kingsley's VP ? Exclamation point. This is when I realized
such a great guy
first
to
time they show
hold
him.
into the last 30 minutes of a movie.
So
like,
but I definitely think
fantastic
that Dave, whenever he first walked in, still thought that Ben Kingsley
I disagree.
was crazy.
Why would he think that after he fired the guys? Because he knows he's a son of a bitch and he's a liar.
Because it's
I don't
still
back in, and he's got like a whole bunch of like African
exactly.
souvenirs.
I think that's why he was a little. That was when he stutters actually from the to the secretary because he's like, "Who? What? Oh, right, yeah, blah blah blah." The stroke or whatever, and then goes in. I think he's also freaking out because he's like, "Oh my god, this crazy guy's back."
I think he just didn't know who he was.
Well, he didn't know who he was first. Well, he forgot the name, but also once he finds out, he's like, okay, this guy's kind of crazy. But then once he actually talks to him, he's like, that was
realizes-
another lie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that's got to be an insane moment for him, walking in thinking this guy's crazy with a spear and a mask. And it was a great scene though. He's talking to the VP and he's like, "Why did you do this to me?" And he has no fucking idea what's going on.
Right. What the hell are you talking about?
It's great. Yeah. And he's like, "I'm gonna fix it."
Chief of Staff leaks Liberty scandal about president.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes. So Bob.
That's the last big thing that happens.
Bob had to know the moment he brought that out. Like, by the way, the president also. You were such an intimate part of that. You're totally going down with them. How would you ever?
I think he also is still banking on the fact that he thinks Dave is dumb
and that Alan is on his side,
and that Alan's not going to help him exactly.
Yeah.
Because like if that were not if like those two things were true, then
he
never
never
would have gotten away with it probably.
Because Sigourney didn't know about it. Nobody else knew about it except
Classic
for Alan.
Sigourney.
Also,
young Jay Leno.
I'm coming in pretty late on a lot of these things.
No,
but
go
real
for
quick,
it.
That's fine. Hit it.
Feel personally attacked by this. Let's find everyone a job. Talk.
What do you mean?
I'm currently unemployed.
Me too. Same. Two people on one mic, both unemployed.
That shit hurt.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to find a different job, so
Yeah, but you're employed.
part-time.
This is why you're on the other side of the room.
It's like one team versus another.
That was exactly the same thing for a while, except the other way around with the Drake and Josh, where I was unemployed and you were employed.
You were a little job boy.
Job boy, JB.
You were job boy.
J Bizzo.
Now we're NJBs.
Yeah, I don't want a job anyway.
Nobody wants a job.
Me.
Please.
Dave bonds with the VP.
Bond's hard. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
that was
I'm sure
cute.
that whole conversation definitely went down because I think him and Alan had already decided what was going to happen.
Right.
And so now
Great
he's
bonding
like,
moment.
he wanted to talk to the VP and like at least make sure that who he's leaving the presidency to is deserving of it. And they have their great talk about how did you start in politics? And he was a shoe salesman, and his wife convinced him because he just wanted to make the world a better place. And he's like, "How did you do it?" And he's like, "Yeah, kind of the same."
And he has that like knowing look in his eye.
Because that's literally it was the same. He was just working, and the next thing he knew, he was president.
Right.
It was crazy. It was awesome.
Wonder what Bill Mitchell's actual story is, though. Probably less, wholesome.
Yeah, that was one thing I was thinking. Like, how does the VP not actually know how Bill Mitchell got started? Like,
They've never talked.
I think it kind of...
Which they might not have.
The VP makes it seem like he never talks or really spends time with the president.
He just does what the president tells him to do.
He basically says how, like, they never agree on anything and, like, they're very different people and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, when they're first starting this conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dave calls a big joint Congress.
Which I guess just happens, like, almost immediately.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They don't really show time passing in this movie a whole lot.
Yeah, they only talk about time passing one time.
Ever.
Which is at the end.
I don't think they do ever. Oh, yeah, right. When they about the
5 months.
5 months in a coma to be dead.
Dave admits wrongdoing.
Yep, Dave straight up admits, says the president, yes, I did everything that Bob is accusing me of, but also Bob did it. So, and I have proof.
Also, yeah, they have the chief of staff's part in this is excellent. Like, they show him, he's in a house with, like, all these people.
He's got a watch party going.
Excited about, they're having a watch party. Excited about his future.
Bob for president signs.
They got all these signs, like, his future in politics. And then right after Dave talks about how he was also involved in the scandal and heavily involved, they cut back to the chief of staff and everyone's gone.
He's just holding his little like bumper sticker and just drops it.
Yeah, that part was very good.
So
awesome.
good.
That part was excellently done.
Yeah, really good.
I wrote down everyone leaves him, LOL.
Mm-hmm. And they do. It's great. It's so good.
Oh, he publicly apologizes to the VP for him being pulled into the scandal at all. Great moment.
Yeah. Great moment.
Shakes his hand.
This whole last scene was very good.
Yeah, it was
good.
great. Very sincere moment. And then
he's given his whole speech, and he stumbles over a word early on, which I feel like he definitely did that on purpose, as to like kind of like
good actor
lend credence to. He just fakes having a stroke,
right,
and collapses to the ground, and they pull him out. And then somehow
they pull the old switcheroo.
Yeah, somehow they pull off a switcheroo.
Yeah, I missed that. Do we see it happen?
No. It's
he's just all of a sudden he's in the driver's seat or the
all
passenger
of a sudden,
seat of the ambulance.
Well, I guess somehow during
Ving Rhames is the driver.
Yeah, what?
The ambulance didn't have its own driver. They were like, we gotta get one of the fucking security guards.
I don't think he was the driver.
Yeah, he was in the seat. It was the two of them in the seat.
He just jumped in.
Yeah, he walked like at the end. We see him get out of the back of the ambulance, push away some of the reporters as they wheel the real.
Fair. You know more than me. You've seen this movie 10 times.
Yeah, as they wheel the real president, who's been in his coma. Which, by the way, how did doctors not pick up on the fact that this person's probably been in a coma for like months?
They can't tell.
They can't tell. Medical science is not...
Yeah, medical science doesn't matter in this movie.
Which I guess, to be fair, they've already paid off to make it plausible that Dave is the president, like medically and all that stuff. So I guess a little bit more of a payoff is fine.
Also, Dave and Ving Rhames have a really great moment.
We missed the sweater scene. We forgot the sweater scene.
We mentioned it earlier. But
briefly, great scene.
He says that he would take a bullet for him. And that was a really good moment between them. It was really like heartfelt.
Trevor cried.
And then they have the walk-off moment, Dave walking off into... It basically, in quotes, walking off into the sunset. It's nighttime. But it's essentially that kind of moment.
Walking into the moonlight.
You see the silhouette. Yeah, the moonlight.
Sigourney Weaver gets out of the car.
She sees him.
And like she's been waiting the whole time, like with her pearls and everything, waiting for this all to go down to then get shuttled off to the hospital with her husband. And she looks back and watches Dave walk away.
Yeah.
As what two people... Okay, so the people that come and get her... Their outfits looked like they were pilots.
I don't know. I didn't look at that.
It was a really weird moment where they had like these yellow stripes on their sleeves. I was like, you look like airline pilots for some reason. Why do you look like airline pilots?
Didn't notice it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is like my
100th time.
Who knows how many times I've seen this movie.
Do you have this movie on Blu-ray?
No, I've only ever seen it on TV, actually. This is the first time I've ever, like...
It is a TV movie. We mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Fits.
So, yeah, and then...
Hard cut to Dave.
Hard cut to 5 months later.
5 months later...
Funeral.
Rip
Bill Mitchell.
President was in a coma for 5 months, and today he was laid to rest in Arlington National Cemetery and all this stuff.
So, IRL, how many months was that? Hard to say. We don't know how long Dave
and then it was
in
a couple
office.
of months... But then it was a couple of months again, they say, until... Or like a month before the VP was then sworn in or something. Which you think he would have been sworn in...
Right away.
No,
as soon as he was in the hospital.
No, you only get sworn in once the president's gone.
I thought you got sworn in the moment the president was incapable of running the country.
I'm gonna take facts from this movie and say that it only happens once the president's dead.
Because there was there's been plenty of other movies where like the president's not even dead. He's just literally like being like captured and is unable to give orders. So it's like we need a president. So it's like
what
at
movie
that.
Is this? Olympus Has Fallen.
Air Force One.
I don't remember.
Top Gun.
Passenger 57.
You know what?
Small Soldiers.
Which one of the one was
Is that what that movie's called?
Lincoln.
the one with
The Lincoln Lawyer.
oh my God, Harrison Ford.
Philadelphia.
No, the one where he's on the plane. Harrison Ford's the president on Air Force One.
Air Force One.
Yeah, I think it happens in that one.
That's what he said.
I know, but I couldn't
first one
remember
I
if that was. I couldn't remember if that was what it was.
All right, so Dave and the First Lady have a big kiss.
Oh well, you cut.
What do you want me to do?
So Dave is now running for city council in his temp agency, but he's still
a
working.
la VP.
He's still working.
A
though.
la VP.
He's still trying to find people jobs. A la VP.
Thank you.
Whatever. I don't even know what that means.
The same as the vice president, or
Yeah.
same thing.
So he's running. Okay, that's what you meant. Yeah, he's running for city council, and then the first lady shows up and is like, "Oh, I'm here to volunteer, I guess."
And to fall in love with your ass.
And
bitch.
yeah, and then they go in and start making out, and it's like that has got.
They didn't even draw the curtains.
No, they didn't.
They closed the door. That don't mean shit.
They draw the curtains after, and then. Oh
Ving
my God!
Rhames.
Ving Rhames walks up, and he's got the little campaign button
He has
on.
It's a great last shot. That should have been where the credits rolled, but it actually pulled out after that. But like
That was when I laughed out loud when he
What?
popped into the frame.
Yeah, it was
and
so
stood in front of
good.
the door. That was
It
my
was
laugh
so
out
good.
loud. Also, that office had 4 windows. They only closed one set of blinds.
He only closed the blinds on the door because that's
So,
where Ving Rhames was going to
We
walk in
can
front
still
of.
watch you make out.
Yeah,
You
for
just-
sure.
what if they stay right there?
Also, does that not make anyone suspicious that the first lady is now
Not at all.
macking it with a guy who looks exactly
Dude,
like Bill
that whole
Mitchell?
thing was so weird. Like, you're going to start a relationship with a man who is identical to your former dead husband.
She hated him.
Yeah, but I mean, he died 5 months. He's dead like a month. He's in the ground
be
for
fair-
like 2
Died,
weeks.
my dude.
To be
Like,
fair, they
I'm-
fell in love before.
And
he
she
died?
did wait to cheat. Technically,
So we think.
all we saw was a cheat kiss, and that was to play.
We don't
off,
know if they had.
They
We don't
definitely-
know if they banged in
They
the White
definitely
House.
point in that shower.
Well, anyway, that's the movie. I'm bumping my
Did you-
rating down. I'm giving it a 6.
What the hell?
Like,
It was a great
that
movie.
6 is where I started. That 6 is good, I think.
yeah. It
Anyways.
was fine.
It's a good watch. I mean, if it's on TV and you got nothing better to do,
I would
check
hard
it out.
recommend not paying for it.
Yeah.
I paid $4.
If you're in,
I also
That's
paid
gone.
$4 for it.
I'm
Those
very happy I
$4
paid
are gone
$4.
now.
That was not even my. That was like so many times of a rewatch, and I'm still
very
happy I paid.
excited though. Even though it seemed like I was a little bit combative during this episode, I'm very excited for what you show us in the future because it's always going to be a left field. And that's
I was
gonna be
also
great.
excited by this. Like, this was great. I've never heard of it. Seeing a thing that's literally brand new to me is dope.
I'm glad.
And shout out to
You
Kevin
did a
Kline.
great job, Trevor.
Thanks.
Kevin Kline is wonderful.
Kevin Kline was great in it.
Doesn't
Sigourney
make
Weaver was-
enough movies anymore.
Nope.
I looked him up on IMDb and I was like, where is this man?
None of them do except for Ben Kingsley.
Sigourney Weaver's been in stuff.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames has
Recently?
definitely been in stuff.
Apparently,
Recently?
Ving Rhames is in Mission Impossible, motherfucker.
Didn't
You're not
see it.
watching. Whoa. All right, cool. So that's well.
To be fair,
Stay tuned for future episodes where I show these
I've seen
fucking no
Mission
culture
Impossible
idiots.
I've seen Mission Impossible 3 and I think Ghost Protocol.
You haven't seen Fallout?
Of course not. I think you invited me and then we didn't see
You
it.
haven't seen the
I haven't seen any of them.
Rogue Nation?
He hasn't seen any of them.
Guys, the new...
I also haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious movies. If
That's fine. The new Mission Impossibles are
Too
genuine...
Fast, Too Furious is classic. That's the one with... Oh, no. Actually,
Ludacris.
I was gonna say that's the one with Ludacris, but I think he's in a bunch of them.
He's in a lot of them. The new Mission Impossible movies are genuinely great.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Okay, right on.
Cool. So anyway, Kevin Kline...
And then, did you guys notice in the credits how many actual public figures they got?
Yeah, so
to
many
play
themselves.
I didn't watch the credits.
They were like the first part that came up whenever they were pulling out. It was just like this person as themselves, as themselves, as themselves.
Yeah,
Oh, what's
Rames
that guy's
was there.
name? Like Ben Stein, right? That's his name.
Ben Stein was there.
Yeah, he was in it. Yeah.
Dry Eyes.
So.
You know?
Anyways.
Those Visine commercials.
That's been Dave, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done. Okay.
Kevin Kline
Wax philosophical for us.
has a daughter named
Does she?
Greta Kline.
Does she? Does
She
she?
makes music as Frankie Cosmos.
Okay.
Her album will be one of the things that we look at in the future.
Oh, okay, cool.
Heads up.
There we go.
Really good music. So, if you want to jump ahead, you can, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, excited to see what's next, though, boys.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
I wonder what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, other than the thing that we're prepared for, I am excited to see what the other recommendations are in the future.
I mean, I know what my
this show's dope. I'm getting to see a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah, I know what my next one's gonna be, and my next one is more or less gonna be a lot of what I show.
Cool.
Right
Anime.
on. Spoiler.
Anime.
But yeah, thanks
That's
for listening,
episode 2.
guys. Yeah, episode 2 in the books.
In the books.
Dave, go watch it, guys.
But not
on
the Little
TV.
Dicky show.
No, not
Not
the
the little-
FXX show.
Don't watch Little Dicky show.
No, watch Dave.
Watch this
Watch
movie
Dave.
if it's on TV.
Especially if you're a completionist for Ving Rhames.
Or if you enjoy Frank Langella.